I'm embarrassed to admit that I don't want to climb the corporate ladder. I don't feel like I want to be a nurse anymore. For some reason, being a homemaker, being a stay-at-home mom, or being an entrepreneur, whatever you want to do, it's become looked down upon. I don't get it. It's about a week before I went back, I had a whole mental breakdown. Okay, wow, can you even see me? That's a little better. Okay. Good morning. I always say this, I really have no idea what I'm going to talk about today. I have no clue. It was supposed to be my first day back as a nurse, school nurse, which was going to turn into my first week back because I really did not get any good footage at all, just because mentally I was not into it, and I just was so busy with like filming and trying to keep up with everything I needed to do. I just kept forgetting to film, like trying to actually go to work, and I thought I was gonna have time to like, oh, I can edit for a few minutes at work. No, like it's super busy when you first come back to school. So I have been back to work. I was working for about 3 weeks, and then today is Friday, September 13th, and it is the end of the 4th week back to school, and due to unforeseen family circumstances, I'm not currently at work just for this week and next week. So I have a little time off. Right now I'm currently on my way to get my hair done. My hairstylist is in a completely different salon than what she usually is. She just moved, so I'm gonna have to navigate downtown Chicago to try to figure out what the heck I'm doing. I'll catch up with you after I finish getting my hair done. Whoa. If only my camera could stay like that, that's a better angle, but it does not. I'll catch up with you after I get my hair done. Okay. She's back. She's fresh. We have our fresh hairstyle done. We're cute, I think. Let me check. I don't even know. Gotta pull my glasses up because I always make myself so mad when I look back and I'm editing and I'm like, you guys, tell me in the comments. I actually really want to know, whoever watched this video, please just take a poll below. When you watch content creators, when you watch anything on YouTube, does it annoy you when you can like see the glare in people's glasses, or is it distracting, or do you care or not? Because I'm actually I used to only wear these glasses because I kind of liked the way my face honestly looked better with them. I do need glasses to see far away. I don't need them to see up close, which is why I don't wear them very often. Sorry, you probably are just looking right at my steering wheel. I don't wear them very often because at first I didn't really need them, but now it's starting to be a little bit fuzzy when I'm like looking far away or trying to read signs when I'm driving. So I'm trying to do better with wearing them. So now I do need them, and at first I didn't. But I know they're kind of annoying when you're like, it's so, the glare is just, it's there. Oh, if I'm back here, if I'm up here. Tell me if this is annoying in the comments. Basically, the last month has just shown me, really all these years, but again, I think I'm more aware of it the last few months. God be just showing me out. Like let me just take these glasses off because I know it's probably annoying. God be showing me, you are just never going to know where your life is going to be within a week, within a day, within a month. Things just switch like that. And a lot of the times we get so used to being in a routine or doing what you're supposed to be doing or what you have to do, just doing what you do, and you think that your life is going one direction and it's just really not. I don't know, I just feel like God has just shown that you think that you're on the wrong path and that you just can't see a change. Like you have no clue how your life could change, but what he's saying is, I can still change it in a snap like that if I really wanted to. So just follow me, listen to me, and when the time is right, I'm gonna snap my fingers. I've just been so off track since going back to work. I think I'm coming to the conclusion, and what I'm feeling in my like heart to say is that I'm just literally embarrassed. I think that's what I need to like post on TikTok. My friend Taylor just sent me this video, this TikTok. Maybe I'll link it in the description. It's just a random TikTok, and it's just about how as a mom, like not a mom, but as a human being, you don't even have to be a mom to feel this way. But just as a human being, sometimes, what am I trying to say? You realize what is expected of you is not really what you want to do. I just know God is moving wheels in a certain direction because my hairstylist, of all people, I was just talking to her. Let me rewind. I'm embarrassed to admit that I don't want to climb the corporate ladder. I've done 10,000 videos on this already about how I don't feel like I want to be a nurse anymore. It's just embarrassing to admit. And that's kind of what I think that TikTok is about. I think what I have come to realize is when I was talking to my hairstylist, which again, I say it's, if you want to solely be a stay-at-home mom, no income, homemaker, whatever, that is perfectly fine. For me, I know I want to be able to have a job where it allows me to be as present in my family's life as possible. Not only my child, but the rest of my family. So my hairstylist was saying to me that she remembers, even for her, when she graduated high school, she just said that one of the deans, when she went back to her high school, when she told them that she was going to cosmetology school, they looked at her like, wow, I thought you were smarter than that. Hair? That's all you want to do is just hair? And looking at somebody like her, because she is such a boss woman, she opened up her own business. Her business is Bronze Glory. It's the skincare line that I'll also link in my description. Not that I'm helping her out. If anything, she gonna help me out, because I mean, I hope one day this blows up and that, you know, people go and support her business, this black owned business. It blows my mind that even for her, she was explaining to me that she has felt embarrassed for a while on doing her silly career, because she was saying, what did she say? She said, I feel like my job is so unserious because you have people who are doctors, nurses, lawyers, whatever your job is, and she's a hairstylist, and she said that she loves what she does. She's been doing it for 20 years. She's made a great living off of it, and she's darn proud of herself. But it's just the expectations from society. Like, people are looking at her like she's crazy and that she's above doing hair. She's more than that. And it's just, it makes you feel embarrassed or silly to admit what you really want to do when it doesn't equate to climbing corporate America. And I just love that TikTok. That brings me so much peace. And I was just thinking about doing TikTok, and I didn't know what I would do. But if I did, it would be some sort of like homemaking content. Just the idea of speaking to us people who are feeling lost in the world because for some reason being a homemaker, being a stay-at-home mom, or being an entrepreneur, whatever you want to do, it's become looked down upon if you don't have the stability of a stable job, which I get the beauty of that, but again, it's like, why do you have to look down on other people who don't want to do the same thing? I don't get it. So basically going back to work this week, like I said, I originally wanted this vlog to be my first day back at work. How am I gonna be? How am I gonna react? How am I gonna feel? Because about a week before I went back, I had a whole mental breakdown. Like, I was okay with going back and I'm okay with doing it, but it's just the not seeing the end of it and the having to be away from my child so much, and the questions of our finances, the questions of, you know, if I have another kid, like I want to have another kid in the next year or two, like how am I even going to do that? Because I know I don't want to ever go back to work again when my child is just a few months old. Like, I just don't want to do that. The idea of going back, I just kind of lost it about a week or two before going back, because I started to be more consistent with, you know, what I really wanted to do on YouTube and TikTok. Not TikTok, I want to do TikTok, maybe, whatever, that's prophetic because I didn't mean to say that, but YouTube, just YouTube, right? That's all I do. Yeah, YouTube. I was becoming more consistent on it, but because I have the two channels, this channel and then the channel Abigail and Taylor with my best friend Taylor, the How Did I Get Here podcast. So I was being more consistent on that stuff. And then the idea of now this is my full-time commitment. I have no choice but to do this. I'm already taking away so much time from my daughter, and I have other, you know, things I have to do. It's just a lot to take care of and a lot to do, and I didn't know how I was going to do it all. Again, God is good, because today is Friday afternoon and I should be at work right now, but due to unforeseen family circumstances, I've been off work the last week, and I'll be off next week as well, which again, it's not a blessing because it was a tough loss in our family. But again, I didn't even foresee having this time off to be able to not only handle that situation, but, you know, try to distract myself and focus on doing other things that I wanted to get done and that I don't usually have the time to get done. I talk about this all the time, I've come to realize, because honestly, I'm sure I've probably alluded to this in every single video that I've ever posted, but I know I specifically talked about it in the I Don't Have a Passion video. That might have been like the second video I posted ever. And then the video where I found out that I was unexpectedly pregnant. And then I recapped that in my nighttime cleanup video that I kind of recently posted, where I did a voiceover of me thinking about how terrible I felt when I found out that I was pregnant, just because I knew that having a baby was not conducive to the career that I had for me personally. It's conducive to it, like you can totally do it. If I were to climb the corporate ladder and I loved what I did, yeah, I could afford to have a baby and be a nurse. That's not the problem. But it's the fact that I don't really want to do this career and it taking me away from what I want to really do, which is just be with my family. And that's just what that TikTok is about. It's like, why is it so underrated? That I love being able to feed and take care of my family. I love being able to create a clean and peaceful home and help others around me, like my parents, my mother-in-law. I just want to be able to go above and beyond for my family and the life around me. I'm not going to complain anymore about not being able to achieve that, because I know with the grace of God and me working and just being obedient to Him and doing what He wants me to do, I can achieve that. I guess the point I'm making is just the embarrassment of it, because like what me and my hairstylist were talking about and what me and Taylor talked about on one of our podcast episodes is like, people give you prestige as to what you do. Because she was saying, that was when she told me the story about when they asked her, well, what are you planning on doing? And they asked her, why aren't you smarter than just being a hairstylist? And I told her, I'm like, yeah, I went to that family gathering a couple weeks ago, and they asked me, oh, where are you now? What are you doing? And I guess what I didn't realize how to formulate it in the moment on what I want to say is, I realized that when people ask me where am I and what am I doing career-wise, they're asking me about a career that I don't even really love or want to be in, but they're finding such prestige in it. And I know that if I were to admit to them, like somehow if I quit my job tomorrow and decided I'm just going to be a stay-at-home mom, and I told people that, like, no, I'm not working, I just want to be at home with my kids, or I want to be at home with my baby and focus on that and then focus on a YouTube career, people would look at me like I'm crazy. And it's not about what people think, to be honest, and saying it out loud, I feel crazy even concerning myself with what people think, but at the same time, it's kind of what puts the pressure. And like my hairstylist was saying, that person doesn't even know how they affected her, because she was so young at the time. She was like 18 or 19 at the time, and that stuck with her ever since. The things people say do affect you, and you have to just learn how to build a tough skin around it. And I guess that's where I'm at. I'm learning to have to build a tough skin and just truly admit out loud what it is that I want to do. Because again, for me, I do want to focus on some other kind of a career, like some kind of entrepreneurial career. I'm just still trying to figure that out and make it conducive to our life financially and figuring that out. So yeah, I don't know if you can hear this big old truck backing up. Anyways, I know that God has blessed me more than I can even ever imagine, because I have one of the best assignments a school nurse could have where I'm currently at. If this is your first video watching me, just know I'm a school nurse. The hardest part is not even necessarily the work, it's just the being away from my family. And I don't know, because you just have your for me, compared to this, it's like, say if you know for a fact that you're passionate about being a lawyer and that's exactly what you want to do, but instead you're being a chef and that's just not what you want. That's how I feel. It's like, or you're a chef and you really want to be a lawyer, or you're a doctor and you really want to be a singer. I don't know. It's just, I feel so incongruent, and that's the problem. That's just not where my passion lies. Because I talked about too in our podcast how there's a lady that I work with that has 2 kids. There's a lot of people I work with that have kids, but for her, I know that she works so hard at her job. She's great at it. She cares about the kids she works with, not only her actual children, but like the students. She cares about them so much, and she really ties up so many loose ends around my entire school, and she makes things happen quicker for people in need than it would happen without her. And so she is meant to do this, and she's also a boss mom, a boss wife. Like, she's an amazing person. I'm so sorry if you hear all these random noises, but there's a lot of businessy type things going on around here. I can tell she's living out her dream being a mom. Like, she's doing what she's meant to be doing, and she's happy doing it. And there's just a lot of people like that, but for me, it's the opposite. I feel like I'm not meant to be here and do this. Can y'all tell that Chicago is just a loud city in general? Anyways, I just feel completely incongruent with where I am compared to where my peace is at. And I think it's more difficult because now I'm a mom. I think before I was able to kind of ignore it, go with the flow, but people who are like that lady I mentioned at work that truly love what they're doing, even people like that have mom guilt because you're not spending enough time with your kids, doing enough for your kids. Like, there's always going to be some version of mom guilt, but it's even worse when you're spending time away from your kids doing something you don't even want to do. Now it's like, okay, what is this all even for? Life is so short and I'm doing what? And because now I have a priority at home that's way more important than what I'm doing. And the only reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is for my priority, so I can afford and have money to be able to pay to do things for my most important, besides God. God is number one. And that's why I'm here. I'm only in this job because, one, God is most important in my life. And I know that he has me here for a reason in this position, and he hasn't released me from that yet. And two, because the other priority in my life, my child, I need some funding for her as well. And I want to have more kids, and I know I need to set them up properly. So that's the only reason why I'm in this job. I just hate becoming the person that just comes home to her and feeds her dinner and puts her to bed. I don't like that. It just sucks having other people raise your kid more than you raise your own kid. And that's just for me, because like I said, for other people it works, but for me it's very difficult, and that's where I'm at. So yeah, I'm going to work very hard. This next week is my plan to just work super duper hard on coming up with a plan, because I know God has been putting it on my soul for so long that I need to truly come up with a schedule and stick to it. Waking up early in the morning, like around 4:30 in the morning, so that I can do some editing or planning, whatever then, and just coming up with a filming, editing, posting schedule and a life schedule, because I still have to, plan things around the house and do things around the house. Like, I just really need to plan my time wisely, and I've kind of been just sliding along and not doing that, and I really need to start doing that. So I don't know, I just feel like a release, if that makes sense. What I've been holding in my heart for so long is probably what I need to just share with the world, because as I saw from that other TikTok, there's a whole tribe of people like me. Everybody in the comments were talking about how they found their people, and I'm also ashamed to admit that I just want to be a homemaker or a stay-at-home mom, and that's my audience. And So I think maybe what I've been holding in my heart for so long to be embarrassed about is something I need to actually just be vulnerable about and share with everybody, share with the world, because yeah. Oh, I'm trying to figure out what the heck half of these machines are. That's like a hard surface finisher is what that one says. I don't even know. This place right here where I'm parked at now is truly my happy place. My very first video I know I filmed here, and I don't know why I just always find myself coming back here to the hustle and bustle. It's like a nice little strip mall area in Chicago, and like a lot of little cute stores, and I always just come here. It's a little park here, little apartments. It's cute. I just always find myself coming back here, and I don't know why. But even before I quit my job when I was working in the hospital, I would come here and park. Before I had a baby, like I would just drive up here, like go to a Chick-fil-A nearby and like get breakfast and just sit here at 8 o'clock in the morning and just eat breakfast in the peace and quiet, and just, well, the Chicago peace and quiet. This is where I feel the most comfortable filming videos too. I just like to park here and do what I gotta do. I think I will make this the end. If you watch this video, thank you so much. Pray for me while I pray for you. And again, I pray that if you also are feeling any kind of incongruence in your life, I just pray that the Holy Spirit will come upon you and to just bless you and give you discernment and a feeling of peace. And I pray that if you feel like distant from God or the Holy Spirit, that you would just pause in silence and just listen and reach out and just feel whatever convictions that God is giving you. But most of all, I just pray for God to bring you his true joy and his true peace, and to help you obtain wisdom and confidence in who you are, whose you are, and to know that wherever you're going, he's with you, he's walking with you. Even if you don't notice him throughout the day, he's with you every second of the day. And I just pray that you truly feel his peaceful, calming presence with you. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Tell me if this would have been distracting or not. Would this have been distracting? Okay, let me know. Bye.